Now, I'm not going to get into the entire Trump thing, but all of the people saying that Tylenol can't cause autism because autism has been around longer than Tylenol. That's exactly like saying that cigarettes don't cause cancer because cancer has been around longer than cigarettes. When we know for a fact there are other things that cause cancer. Sometimes kids and very healthy people get cancer for no apparent reason. Now, there have been multiple class action lawsuits against Tylenol because of the links to ADHD. Now, this here says that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration today initiated the process for a label change for acetaminophen, Tylenol, and other similar acetaminophen products. Acetaminophen is derived from a plant. Oh yeah, for all those people that are like, oh yeah, weed is all natural because God put it here. Yeah, he also put opium poppy. He also put the coca plant, which cocaine is derived from, and the opium poppy is what obvious opiates are derived from. He put nicotine in tobacco plants, and that's very addicting and dangerous. You have the entire mescaline from peyote. You have alcohol, which is hops, fruits, and grains that are fermented, that are rotted till they turn into a poison. That is what alcohol is. Look it up. Alcohol is classified as a poison. Tylenol is derived from a plant. And it continues to reflect evidence suggesting that the use of acetaminophen by pregnant women may be associated with an increased risk of neurological conditions such as autism and ADHD in children. Now, we know that there has been a link between Tylenol and ADHD for a very long time because there are billion-dollar class action lawsuits that have been surrounding that forever. But it also goes on to say that the agency also issued a related letter alerting physicians nationwide. The FDA is taking action to make parents and doctors aware of the considerable body of evidence about potential risks associated with acetaminophen, said FDA Commissioner. Even with this body of evidence, the choice still belongs with the parents. The precautionary principle may lead many to avoid using acetaminophen during pregnancy, especially since most low-grade fevers don't require treatment. It remains reasonable, however, for pregnant women to use acetaminophen in certain scenarios. And it says right here at the bottom, the evidence in recent years has suggested that there is a correlation between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and subsequent diagnosis of conditions like autism and ADHD. So for the people that are saying that autism was officially classified as this, autism, in 1911, but Tylenol hasn't come out until 1950, acetaminophen has been produced since 1878. Right here, Harmon Northrop Morse first produced acetaminophen in a lab in 1878. Acetaminophen is derived from a plant. It is a fever reducer. It is also for pain. It is one of the things that was largely considered safe for pregnant women or people that are allergic to other things to be able to take, because other classifications like Motrin, aspirin, things like that are also blood thinners. And they help more with inflammation, but Tylenol is supposed to help more with pain and fever. That's why a lot of times if you are okay to take Tylenol and Motrin, they really suggest that you kind of go in between the two. But it's depending on what you're treating, what you're taking it for, your medical history. So for the people that think that there are absolutely no links, that this is a big hoax, that this is a lie, that you are being misled and lied to because it's Donald Trump and nobody likes Donald Trump because he constantly lies. The Food and Drug Administration is not putting out a national-wide alert to physicians and calling for Tylenol and acetaminophen to change their labels to have a warning if there wasn't some kind of correlation or proof. And those had to have come from more recent studies. But to say that autism has been around a lot longer than Tylenol, therefore Tylenol, acetaminophen, cannot cause autism is very misleading because acetaminophen products have been on the market since 1878. that is up to the person's discretion whether or not they want to risk that while they are pregnant. A lot of people are also arguing, well, no, it's down to genetic and environmental factors. Everything is usually a combination or one of the other when it comes down to genetic or environmental factors. But that's as ignorant as saying that cigarettes don't cause cancer, because cancer has been around a lot longer since people started putting tobacco in pipes and smoking it or rolling it into cigarettes and putting all kinds of other carcinogens in there. Because cancer has existed way before cigarettes. It doesn't mean that cigarettes can't cause cancer still, with all of the chemicals and the additives to that, of course. Do you really trust any pharmaceutical company? Do you trust Tylenol? Do you trust Johnson & Johnson with all of the class action lawsuits regarding all kinds of products, even talc powder? You're going to trust them and their manufacturing process over even the slight possibility that these studies are onto something and there could be a correlation? Again, I'm not saying my own opinion on this, but if the Food and Drug Administration are publishing what they publish, just remember, it's for a reason. I'm not saying my own opinion on this. I'm just saying that there has to be some kind of reason for it. There has to be something that is making them alert physicians, and there has to be something that is making them change Tylenol and other acetaminophen products labeling. If you don't trust the feds, the CIA, pharmaceutical companies, the government, your own state governments, if you just see nothing but lies and corruption anywhere, then I really hope that you're not taking no products whatsoever, because they're all manufactured and produced somewhere. And to absolutely stand behind Tylenol can't possibly cause autism, it can't possibly cause ADHD, even the links to that were established forever ago. Class action lawsuits regarding Tylenol and ADHD have been going on for years and years. And people are still not seeing their payouts. Because Tylenol, as a company, has been trying to do everything that they can to hold up with every little itty-bitty thing that they can do. Every legal loophole that they could possibly embark on to try to prevent having to pay out any more money to people for Tylenol causing ADHD. And I'm not telling you who or what to believe or who or what to put faith in, but I'm telling you to think. Think. Be informed. Be informed. Because really, if you trust Tylenol and you trust all of these other products and you trust all the manufacturing, just remember how many recalls happen every single day in the United States for even foodborne pathogens, etc., being contaminated. Don't forget about the Tylenol stuff that happened, all the people that randomly lost their lives due to the contamination of Tylenol products. And it's no coincidence to me that the people that always have the most to say are the people that literally take these products or take other pharmaceutical grade products or other substances. And you have a lot of trust and faith in that. Yet look at what addiction, substance use disorder, alcoholism, look what it does to your kidneys, your liver, your bladder. Look what it does to literally change the chemical makeup of your brain. And I'm not saying my own thoughts and opinions on this, but an ill-informed decision is not a very good decision. That's why I highly suggest that you do your homework and your research before you decide, while pregnant, to take Tylenol or other acetaminophen generic type products. It doesn't have to be political. It doesn't have to be whether you love or hate Donald Trump. This should be enough. Whatever you put into your body, make sure you're making an informed decision. Unless you are doing it on purpose because you later want to have some kind of payout or you want to have some kind of class action lawsuit, then hey, do whatever the hell you want. And I hope you do get a payout. But at least it's an informed one. All right, I love you all. Bye.